Millions of pilgrims gather at Arafah for spiritual peak of Hajj. Holiday rush on highways as homegoers head home for Eid. Government against road malpractices, says Minister. Home Minister says criminals to face tough action over attacks on rap in jungle Salimpur. Assalamu alaikum, this is Orlando Gomes, welcoming you all to Evening News. You have just heard the Crown 7 headlines. Now let's move on to the details. More than 1.6 million Muslim pilgrims assembled Tuesday at the plain of Arafah for the most significant spiritual stage of the Hajj pilgrimage. Beginning at dawn on the 9th day of Dhul-Hijjah, worshippers made their way to Arafah, where they devoted the day to prayer, reciting the Quran, remembering God, and offering supplications. Pilgrims remained within the sacred boundaries of the site until sunset. At midday, pilgrims listened to the Arafah sermon, which offered spiritual guidance and highlighted the virtue of the sacred day. Worshippers later combined and shortened the Zuhr and Asr prayers in accordance with the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Throughout the day, pilgrims engaged in prayer, recited the Taliba and Takbir, and sought forgiveness in a deeply reflective and humble atmosphere. The journey to Arafah followed the day of Tariwa in Mina, where pilgrims spent Monday preparing mentally and physically for the most demanding stage of Hajj. After sunset, pilgrims departed Arafah for Muzdalifah, where they were expected to combine and shorten the Maghrib and Isha prayers before spending the night resting and worshipping ahead of the symbolic stoning ritual.
اللهم انصر بهم دينك وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا.
The Eid holiday rush has begun as people leave Dhaka, causing traffic volume to surge across major highways. On the northern routes, a 13-kilometer stretch of the Dhaka-Tangail Jamuna Bridge Highway is experiencing slow-moving traffic, though no major gridlocks have been reported and traffic remains fluid in Sirajganj. However, the closure of garment factories has released a massive wave of industrial workers, multiplying vehicle volumes on both the Dhaka-Mymensingh and Dhaka-Tangail highways. Meanwhile, travel to the southern districts via the Dhaka-Mawa Expressway and Padma Bridge remains smooth despite high vehicular pressure. Passenger rushes have also intensified at the Paturia Ferryghat and the Chandpur launch terminal. Acknowledging some limitations in the government's monitoring system, Road Transport Minister Sheikh Rabiul Alam stated that immediate action is being taken against any irregularities on the roads. The minister shared this information this morning after inspecting the Saidabad bus terminal in the capital. He warned that while the presence of miscreants operating behind the scenes cannot be denied, they will not be tolerated. He also noted that passengers' lack of awareness often allows bus drivers and supervisors to overcharge, urging citizens to remain vigilant.
নির্ধারিত ভাড়াই সবাই নিচ্ছে আবার এখানে দেখবেন যে আমাদের এই যে ভিজিলেন্স টিম আছে মনিটরিং সেল আছে পুলিশ কন্ট্রোল রুম আছে সেখানেও কোনো অভিযোগ এরকম নেই বিচ্ছিন্নভাবে দুই এক জায়গায় এরকম অভিপ্রায় গোপনের চেষ্টা করা হয়েছে তাৎক্ষণিকভাবে তাদের বিরুদ্ধে ব্যবস্থা নেওয়া হয়েছে
Sacrificial cattle markets across the country are bustling with buyers and sellers in the final days before Eid al-Adha, with local livestock dominating the stalls. In Dinajpur, 68 markets are active, with small cows seeing higher demand than larger ones. In Moulvibajar, permanent markets are packed, though buyers and sellers continue to haggle over prices. Sharitpur's market features cattle of all sizes, backed by strict administrative security. Meanwhile, livestock farmers in Bhola are pleased with the absence of Indian cattle, though buyers noted a lack of market monitoring by local authorities. Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed on Tuesday warned of straightened action against those involved in recent attacks on RAB personnel in Chattogram Jungle Salimpur area, reaffirming the government's zero-tolerance policy against terrorism, extortion and organized crime. The minister said this while briefing reporters after visiting the National Operation Monitoring Center at police headquarters in Dhaka. He said the minister said attempts by criminal groups to create a state within a state has been thwarted through joint security operations and that law enforcement agency would continue their efforts to ensure public safety and uphold the rule of law. He also said a large catch of illegal firearms have been recovered and a number of wanted criminals arrested during operations in the area.
তারা যে উদ্যত আচরণ করেছে, যে দুঃসাহস দেখিয়েছে, সেটা আমরা খুব কঠোরভাবে নিয়ন্ত্রণ করব। আগামী দিনে আমি এখনই পরিকল্পনা ফাঁস করতে চাই না। সন্ত্রাসীদের অভয়ারণ্য যেখানে থাকুক সেগুলো নির্মূল করা হবে। সীমান্তে দুই একটা জায়গায় হয়তো পাল্টা গোলাগুলির ঘটনা ঘটেছে, সেটা স্বাভাবিক প্রক্রিয়া, এরকম হয়ে থাকে। তারপরে ফ্ল্যাগ মিটিংয়ের মাধ্যমে সেটা সমাধান হয়।
Fisheries and Livestock Minister Mohammad Aminur Rashid has claimed that this year's sacrificial cattle markets are safer compared to previous years. The minister made the remarks while inspecting a cattle market in Kumilla this morning.
একটা দেশ নাই যেখানে প্রায় 1 কোটি কোরবান দেওয়া হয়। বাংলাদেশে কিন্তু সবকিছু মিলিয়ে 1 কোটি কোরবান হয়। সিকিউরিটির প্রশ্ন যেটা আছে, আলহামদুলিল্লাহ এখন পর্যন্ত এমন কোনো নিউজ আমার চোখে পড়েনি, আপনাদের চোখে পড়লে বলবেন।
Stating that no extra money is being collected from buyers or traders at the sacrificial cattle markets, LGRD State Minister Mir Shah Alam said that allegations of extortion centering the markets are baseless. The state minister made these remarks while inspecting the permanent cattle market at Gaptuli in the capital this morning.
আমরা ক্রেতা বিক্রেতা উভয়ের সঙ্গে কথা বলেছি, সবাই বলেছে পরিবেশ ভালো আছে, স্বস্তিদায়ক আছে এবং হাসিলের যে বিষয়টি মোট পশুর মূল্যর 5% যে বিষয়টা, এটা আমরা নিশ্চিত করেছি এবং মানি রসিদ, টাকার রসিদ আমরা চেক করেছি, একজন কাস্টমারের কাছেও দেখেছি। তবে অতিরিক্ত বৃষ্টি হলে সাময়িক কিছু অসুবিধা হলেও সিটি কর্পোরেশনের লোকজন সার্বক্ষণিক দায়িত্ব পালন করছে।
The burial of 6 residents from Rajendrabati village in Nogans Manda Upazila have been completed following a tragic truck accident in Tangai. Their funeral prayers were held this morning, drawing local leaders and residents, after which the victims were laid to rest side by side. The burials of 4 other victims from the same village were completed last night. The tragic accident occurred yesterday when a road-laden truck overturned in Tangail's Kalihati area, killing 15 laborers, 10 of whom hailed from this single Naga village. Despite the festive mood of Eid, hospitals in the capital remain overwhelmed with measles patients as daily infections and death continue to rise. Over the 24 hours ending Tuesday, 10 children died from the disease, bringing the total death toll from measles and suspected measles cases to over 550 over the past 71 days. Among them, 458 children died showing symptoms of the virus. Relatives reported that even after recovering from measles, many children are suffering from prolonged fever, severe cough and pneumonia. Health and Family Welfare Minister Sardar MD Shaukat Hossain stated that 1,300 megawatts of electricity will be generated from the Rupur nuclear power plant within the next few months. The minister made these remarks during a ceremony in Norsingdi this afternoon.
আমাদের রূপপুর পারমাণবিক প্রকল্প থেকে আগামী কয়েক মাসের ভিতরে 1300 মেগাওয়াটের মতো বিদ্যুৎ আমাদের আসবে, যেটা নন স্টপ হবে, থামবে না, দিবে আমাদের। বাংলাদেশকে ইনশাআল্লাহ আগামী 5 বছরের মধ্যে সম্পূর্ণ স্বাবলম্বী করব। একটু ধৈর্য ধরতে হবে।
And that's all from the newsroom for now.